Good evening, world. And of course, I'm getting up at what time are we on now? For God's sake. Oh, 25 to 9. I'm getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. What am I doing online? I don't care. I have my chocolate. I'm fine. Look, I've even come in using YouTube Studio just so that I can try and get a couple of handles on the different try and get a handle on the different things you can do with people who comment, because I'm getting a little bit annoyed, to be quite honest. I think there are far too many people out there with bad bad energies, and I'm not one to complain, but I don't want someone else's bad energies bouncing off of me. And there are certain people out there who watch this live stream quite regular. They don't want it bouncing off them either. So I put out a post, and it's basically about everybody respecting each other. And yeah, I don't mind a bit of banter as long as people don't start disrespecting other people. But one of the other things is if you come on with bad energy, you're spreading bad energy. And if I start to get a feeling that there's something not right about the energy in the room or in the group, then I'm going to either cut it short, or I'm going to try and get rid of the person who's causing the atmosphere to change, because we don't need it. And picking up bad vibes from other people is not a good idea. And especially if you're in a vulnerable situation, and there are one or two people in my group that are in that situation. I don't want people to feel that they can't come on because, hey, there's lots of negative people on there, and they don't want to be drawn back into the quagmire of whatever it is they've been sort of suffering with. So that's sort of been my gripe over the last few weeks. Really, it's come to my attention. It came to my attention a few weeks ago that there's certain people out there who twisting things, quite bad vibes coming from them, but they're also making a hell of a lot of clips, and you're thinking, why would you want so many clips of me? Some of them, there's about two or three. No, there's about three people doing it, and it's the vibes I get from them are range from sort of like just not quite right to being darn right evil. So it's been a challenge. I thought, well, what do I do? Do I put down rules? Because I don't see many of the big channels doing it. But to just do a few rules, maybe that will be enough to say, look, enough's enough. Don't like people coming in and making idiots of me or the people online. And it's not just in this, because I have two channels, and it's not just in this channel. I had someone come on. I just come back from abroad. It's been an 12-hour flight, I think he said. And if anybody wants to know anything about um, the Quran or something, it was certainly Muslim based, then please please contact me on, and I'm thinking, whoa, hang on a minute. We're not we're a non-religious channel. I don't promote any religion, mainly because spiritualism actually sits quite square and squarely in the middle of nearly every single religion. I mean, it's closest to being Sikh. The idea of having a little triangle, and you start spiritually at the bottom, you come back to earth, and you hopefully go up the levels. And when you get to the top, you get to Valhalla, as the Sikhs call it. But as we call it, it's you become one of these higher, and the highest of angels, one that can look down on all the other angels and say, yeah, you look after this, you look, yeah, you need to go back to earth and just try and step up a level, and you'll become that level. Eventually, you'll join us all in Valhalla, at the top of the triangle. So actually, Sikhism is closest, I think, to the idea of spiritualism. But then you got the Christians who believe that Jesus rose from the grave. Well, yeah. He also appeared in front. I think it was Saint Peter and Paul on the road to Damascus, was it, or something like Peter and Paul on the road somewhere. And he appeared in a state that they didn't recognize him. There, the interesting thing there is that we believe when you come back, you can come back looking. You tend to come back looking at as whatever you look the age that you prefer yourself looking back. So if you thought the point in your life where it was best was when you were 35, you'll come back looking 35, even if you died at 65. And the interesting thing is Jesus came back looking obviously younger. Why? Because, well, it was a spirit, it was a ghost. He enjoyed it at that age. He didn't enjoy it when it got older and he started getting harassed by the Romans. So instead, he came back looking younger. Well, they obviously didn't recognize him. They might not even have seen him when he was that age, But eventually, he got them to realize, yeah, it's still me. I'm still here. I'm still around. I'm a ghost. But I'm looking younger, aren't I? And yeah, I enjoyed this age. So it matches the beliefs of spiritualism, and it matches the Bible as it's written. So, and there's lots more in the Bible where you think, well, how did the Ten Commandments get written down? Who told it him? Well, it was probably the earlier version of someone who could hear spirits. And they've told him, well, look, people are just far too this, far too. You need to tell them to do this. You need to, and by the end of the evening, the night, these spirits have told him in his head that you need to write this down. Those people down there, they need to understand that you can't do it this. You've got to be, looking after your name, not stealing from him. And everything actually matches quite nicely, and it matches historically as well. There's some very interesting history facts about the parting of the sea. The parting of the sea happened, not in the way that they said, but it happened. They found Noah's Ark. It happened. There was a great flood. There was a great flood. That happened, and at the right time. So all these things, sort of like throughout history, have sort of been true, but they've been like twisted over time. It's like Chinese whispers, isn't it? But central to them all is spirits. And I worked in Germany, and two girls that I worked with were Muslims. And she says, "Well, can you be a Muslim then and be a spiritualist?" I said, "Well, God, you tell me what as a Muslim do you believe in?" She says, "Well," she says, "my grandma," and this girl's about mid-20s, well, probably early 20s, mid-20s. She says, "Well, my grandma told me that you have one angel on your left that records all the bad things you've done, and one angel on your right, which gives you all the good things you've done. And at the end, you get this the bad spirit and the good spirit." She said, "Well, the bad angel and good angel will go across and they will read off exactly what they believe you did during your life." And I said, "Well, that's a nice Muslim belief, right? That's your so that is what most people believe." Yes, right. So we believe that you have guides. You probably have one, but you could quite easily have two. But you also believe that a lot of us believe that they record and remember what you've done during your life. And when you go over, you'll have to answer to what you've done, good and bad. And they will basically read off what you've done during your life. I said, "Well, so that's spiritualism." And it matches what these two Muslim girls have been taught by their grandparents and great grandparents, you know. And so the Muslim idea was not too dissimilar in that part of it, you know, how you go across and be assessed and judged, to what we believe. And the Sikh idea of Valhalla was almost spot on to what we believe. The little triangle going up, and you come back to Earth, you go back, and you hopefully go up the triangle. And there are so many different beliefs. When I remember looking into different ones, and they're all interconnected by one thing, and this is the belief that there is life after death, and you actually get judged, and you sort of move higher up the echelon of some sort of echelon in the spirit world. There's only one that I've seen that doesn't believe that, and that's Jehovah's Witnesses, who believe you die and that's it, boom, you're gone. And then they believe you somehow come back on Judgment Day and see everybody again. How the hell are you supposed to disappear, not exist, and then suddenly appear and exist again? Physical impossibility. You have to, if you exist here and you exist here, you can't not exist in the middle. Yeah, you can't. You're not going to have a good big database where you go, "Oh, okay, let's pull that person's, okay, we'll recreate that person with all his memory." And no, it ain't going to work. Not unless those people that believe we're all in a computer program are right. In which case, yeah, you could, couldn't you? You could go back in the database. Recreate Mr. John Seekings. Yes. Okay, there he is. He's recreated. Brilliant, you know. So it is, yeah. Let's recreate Fred Bloggs. Yes, okay, that's no, don't think about it. So it's I spent a while when I was younger looking through the different religions and sort of trying to work out where they all aligned, and was there anything that's like joined them? Because surely to God they weren't just created because of something that was needed in the local area. Because like that's what Muslims were created. He came out of his little his area where his house was. He was one of the top guys there. And he opened his gates and walked out into the local village and saw women with the long hair flaunting themselves with the men. And no, that's it. You can wear head to toe gowns and head to heels, not showing your heels off. You look through the bokeh, the slot, because you're all showing your hair off. You only show your hair off in inside the house, and they were needed in that society at that time. But they can't all be fully to do with what he's seen. There has to be something that to do with progressing, dying, going on, moving on. There has to be some belief system in there, if only to stop people from panicking. So, and there was. So, when you move on, now you look at all these different religions, you realize there's not an awful lot different between us all, and that spiritualism actually sits fairly and squarely in the middle. I went to a coffee evening down the road on I think it was Friday morning once, and it's at the local Church of England church, and they have lots of religions there, lots of. And a Roman Catholic came up. I'm sure she was Roman Catholic, and she said, "Well, you go to a CB church and you're a spiritualist. How does that work? That doesn't they don't match, do they?" I went, well, and I went through a couple of things I said and thought, there's lots of little bits that you can actually attribute to spiritualism, and you just have to look at it and think, it does match Catholicism. In fact, if you go back to Italy, then Rome has a special area where they keep books and a lot of scriptures that haven't been seen by people because they've been pushed into an area that and they don't want people to read them. One of them is about aliens, apparently, allegedly, because nobody's seen it, and the other's about spirits. So anybody, there was a group of kids that had seen a certain saint appeared in front of them a couple of times, and apparently the newspapers wrote it in back in the day, years and tens of years ago, hundreds of years ago. They wrote it out in whatever form of writing they had, and the Roman Catholics took all the information, spoke to the kids, and after that they refused to say that it ever happened. And all the writings that have been created are in the library. So they've been attributed to stopping people seeing or thinking about life after death, because anything that says it exists, they've shoved into the archives. It's only been recently that they've started to say, well, actually, the devil exists. That's in the Bible. So we'll admit that he exists. And actually certain forms of things like Ouija boards can cause portals, and we will have, every priest can have one guy that's going out into the community to do exorcisms. So they're admitting it happens, and admitting it that there is things out there that can open portals, and that portals can be quite nasty because they all open gaps to both the good world and the evil world. So all of a sudden they've changed their tune, and they thought, well, we can't, if we say ghosts don't exist and we keep it all in the library, how are we going to explain that the devil exists? Yeah, in what form? How does God exist? In what form? Archangel Gabriel, what form? So all of a sudden you're thinking they've obviously put out these things. We're not going to get all the information from them, that we never will. But what they have done is admit that spirits exist, and admit that there is a good chance that there is life after death, and they won't admit that Jesus rose as a ghost and somebody nicked his body. That's why his body disappeared, not that it rose and walked off. But they never will do that, will they? But yeah, there's lots of things. I think the nearest one, the Sikh idea, is just amazing. But there again, I did hear from a local woman. She says, something, she'd be about 50, this woman. She said, I remember my mum walking into her mum's bedroom, and she says, that triangle idea you said from the Sikhs, where you go up to Valhalla and you keep coming back to Earth and going up the triangle until you get to the top of the pyramid and you're in Valhalla. She says, my mum believed in that. She was a devout Christian. So there must be something in Christianity that also says this, because her mum wouldn't have gone and taken a Sikh product, gift or whatever, and put it on a shelf. This was something that her mum had and was proud of. If this was her Christian right to have this in that. But it was a triangle. It was like you're mentioning. She says it was that was the idea her mum had always said. So I think there are things that in Christianity, certainly, that have been almost pushed away. Probably from the deep dark days when the Roman Catholics took these ideas and stuffed them in the library in Rome, and nobody's allowed to talk about them. Otherwise, Men in Black came and had a word with you, like they did this group of kids. So it's really interesting. I love the subject. It really is really interesting how the different places, actually, the different religions actually do. They're totally different until you look at spiritualism and ghosts and how they think you pass over and how you think you come back, and the reason for coming and going, and the reason why you're coming here is nearly always to learn something. You nearly always get judged. I mean, was it the Buddhists believe they can tell you whether you're going to come back as an elephant or a kangaroo or a human? And it depends on how good you were in this life. Again, you go across, you get judged, and then you might come back to relearn and come, but that'll be dependent on what you did, whether it was good or bad. And again, that good or bad being judged when you go over there. And the Muslim idea of good spirit, bad spirit, recording the good and bad you do, and getting judged when you go across there, And there's so many different things in the different religions that match up. And this is why when I got that Muslim guy on my other channel, and I've been on the plane 12 hours and I just got off it. And if anybody wants to learn about the Quran and Muslims, and give me an email on my email, and I'm thinking, whoa, I'm religious neutral, So there's been a few rules put out. Didn't really want to put rules out, and I thought we didn't really need them, but I do believe that the last one that I want to say is this idea of people coming on when they're spreading bad energy. I know Fearless, if she was here, would say, there's a need to make sure we make sure, as far as we can do, that the people on here are only spreading good energies. And she's really, really good at judging the energy force coming from people. and I think she'll do absolutely brilliant at stopping some of the people coming on and banning them, because I think I don't like banning people. I mean, you're not going to get anywhere building a community of friends if you start banning them. But I would rather have a small community of friendly, good spirited people with great energy rather than a huge community of hundreds, thousands that, well, yeah. Oh yeah, we've got 1,000 people on my community. Isn't that great? But 600 of them are really bad energies. I'd rather not have them. I'd rather have my community as it is with just over 300, and have people enjoying a chat and being able to come in and out. Now, hopefully people do come and watch. I've ranted on enough and nobody's been taught. People have come on because I've got a like. I bet you that was fearless. But I enjoy ranting. The next one, I want to try and talk about some of the history of in the Bible, because it is actually really interesting. It really, really is. And some people think, "Oh God, he's going to rant about the Bible." I'm off. But some of the things in there are they've been backed up by science. They've been backed up by archaeological studies. And not everybody knows about some of these archaeological studies. And next week, I wanted to have a word about it. I'm just going to go through a couple of them as I remember them, because then they're quite old studies, but they never really come to the forefront. And people have to actually go and try and find them to sort of read about them. So I'll just go through a couple of them, and hopefully you'll find it really interesting, because they sort of like go between geological studies and archaeological studies. They sort of combine together, and in certain ways they match each other remarkably well. That's as far as I'm going to go, because I know that I want to do that next week. So next week we'll have a little chat about the history, some of the interesting histories behind the Bible. Do join in, because it is actually quite eye-opening, some of it, and it's not just for Christians to listen to. This is about some of the things that happened within sort of this area of the world, and between here and sort of Jerusalem and that sort of area. And you'll enjoy it, I think. So we'll call it a day. We've had 2 or 3 people come in and disappear. Who knows? There might be one in there, because it usually tells me 0, even if there's somebody in. So if there is anybody in, thank you for joining. You could have chatted with me a bit more, but I don't mind. I can waffle on for ages talking to myself. I usually do, so it doesn't make any difference. I'm going to go a drink of coffee. I did have my chocolate. I had a chocolate biscuit, actually. 4 dark chocolate chunk cookies, plant-based eating. Vegan biscuits. All right, okay. I had 4 vegan dark chocolate biscuits. There we are. I also had this. Again, I can eat that later, can't I? So thank you for joining. Thank you for listening and replaying it. If you did replay it, please do like and subscribe. Do need lots more subscribers. A few more likes would get the things like this more out into the ether, into the network. So if you do see it and you think, "Oh, he's okay, perhaps I'll see him again next week," click like, because that does help build the community. And then even if they don't join the and subscribe, at least we've got more people in and more people chatting. It's really good when people start chatting. It's probably one of the rare occasions where I've actually just had a couple of people nip in and nip out straight away. But yeah, I've enjoyed it, and we will continue because we always do. And we're gone again Monday with the tarot cards. Like I said, the length of that will depend. I had a little bit of an issue with the energy coming from the group, so unfortunately I had to cut it short. But hey, we will be back, and we will be back next Monday. If you haven't noticed, I have changed the site, the name. We are. I will probably put up a post, but the name has changed from Mystic John JON to Mystic John Paranormal, and it's JOHN. Mainly because my daughter misspelt it and put a H in, because that's what my name is actually spelt as. I put JON to start with because it was a believe it or not, there's hundreds of Mystic Johns, JOHN. But I think by now everybody's who knows me, and this community will grow from its base of where it is now. And I don't think changing the name to JOHN is going to be too much of a difficulty. Especially seeing I'm wanting to put the word paranormal in there as well, since I've done my first paranormal investigation, and I intend to do some more. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching. And we've got somebody in. I've been chatting to myself about religion and how spiritualism sort of sits right in the middle of it, which is quite interesting. If you get time to rewind it and look at the what I've been blabbering on to myself about, it's actually quite interesting. Just quickly for you, I did a job in Germany, and I asked this. No, it wasn't me. The two Muslim girls, young Muslim girls, like early 20s, asked me, "Well, can we be spiritualists and Muslims as well?" I said, "Well, yeah. How do you believe in spirits? What do you believe in?" She said, "Well, my grandma always used to say that we had a good angel on one side and a bad angel on the other, and they wrote down all your good points and bad points, and then hello there, I'm fine, Techie, just waffling on about how spiritualism sort of sits between so many different religions." And yeah, I worked for a while in about a year or so in Germany, and the Muslims that I worked with were actually quite shocked, because spiritualism isn't really very. There's no spiritual churches over there. There's one in Berlin. That's it. That's the only one they've got. And I'm fine. I've just been for a run. Went for a run, came back, and I've got my 4 dark chocolate chunk. I'm on chocolate chunk biscuits, vegan chocolate chunk biscuits as well. I enjoyed it. It's a good day. But yeah. I mean, did you know that I've ever said to you where there's spiritualism is actually closer to Sikhism, because Sikhism believes in the triangle, where you go up the triangle, you come back to Earth, you go back and you learn, and as you learn, you go up the triangle, and as you get to the top, we believe you get to that point where you're the top of all angels, and you're the perfect you're the perfect angel. But if you go into Sikhism, they have a triangle, and they show you the triangle. When you get to the top of the triangle, you're in Valhalla, and once you're in Valhalla, that is your target, to get to Valhalla. You keep coming back to Earth, so you learn something and go back to Valhalla. And actually, the Sikhism is closest to being a spiritualist. Christianity is also really close, but for some strange reason, in the early days of books, the Catholic Church in Italy started going out and gathering all this information of people who'd written about spirits and ghosts, or seen spirits and ghosts. I was saying that there was a group of kids near Rome somewhere, and they'd seen a saint reappear in front of them, and the church went out to see them. Took all the notes that the local paper had written, put them into their archives in Italy. Spoke to the kids, and none of the kids would ever speak about it ever again. And this is what the Catholic Church did. They refused to talk about it for years and years and years, until recently, when they suddenly started to say, "Oh, every priest can have one exorcist." Now, what does that tell you? They do believe in them, don't they? I mean, if they don't believe in them, why the hell have they given each priest the right to have one exorcist attached to them? So the Christianity is a bit. I think it's almost like they enjoy the power. But I think they're breaking up. They're breaking up now. They're starting to sort of see the fact that people want to know, and people need to know that there is something there, and that actually shutting people up and putting everything in the archives in Italy, you can only do that for so long, and that's it then, isn't it? What do you do after that? I've also got with that Firefly. I've also got Firefly, and another bar of chocolate. Now, who have I got on? I've got Techie, Firefly. Now, I have to apologize. I don't know who the third person is. I have to apologize to you two, because we had. I put out some rules, some rules last week, and one of the rules is I don't intend to allow people with bad energies into the group. I will block them. I will try and kick them off. But it didn't seem to be working on Monday, because one of my main one of the crikey, my bloody nose again. Go away. One of the women who's been coming on, and really, I'm getting a really nasty, almost evil power from her, and she came on, and I tried blocking her, but the first time all I got back was the comments went, but then she came back, and I'm thinking, how the hell do I get rid of this? So I tried blocking her again. It's Scorpio. It's Scorpio, and I get such a horrible energy from her, and I'm not the only one to have noticed it. I don't know if you've noticed it, Techie, but the energy that comes from her is almost pure evil. And I tried blocking her. Unfortunately, no, they can't be working on him. Yeah, you're right, Techie. You can be both. And a lot of people don't realize you can be sort of spiritual and of a different any religious persuasion. Scorpio's one of the women that keeps coming on, but she's been spreading really, really bad. I might say evil energies, but really bad energy. And I don't think Barry's able to sort of stop it from coming through. So it's like, yeah, need to try to block her on Monday, failed, tried a second time, and I don't know whether it succeeded or not. But I don't need people who have bad energies coming on the group, because it could bounce back on anybody, any of you lot that are on the stream at the same time, and I don't want any. Yeah, only good energies in here. Exactly, Firefly. I don't want bad energies in here, because, I mean, can you imagine poor old poor old Fearless. She's having an operation, and she really doesn't need anything like evil, bad energies to be floating across in her direction at her time. I can't remember what her full name is. It's sort of like it. I know it's got Scorpio in it. I tried blocking it twice, and it just wouldn't work. I went on one of the other live streams, and I thought, well, and I asked them. I said, "Look, mods, can you tell me how to block someone?" You click the name. Let's see if I can try it with one of you. So I click Firefly. See, I think first time I clicked remove, and that didn't work. She came back. Hide user. So I've clicked hide user from this channel, but there isn't a block on there. I can't actually block. It doesn't say block. It says channel activity. Go to channel, pin, report, remove, which didn't work. Put user in timeout. Well, that's just for a short period. I certainly don't want to add her as a moderator. So the only other option is hide on this channel. So she's hidden on this channel, so she probably can get on and listen, but she can't comment. So if she is around, don't want you on the channel. If I could block you, I would. Unfortunately, I can't do it. But yeah, Fearless doesn't need any of that. So I thought it was best putting a blanket post out last week just about, we need everybody to be friendly. We need everybody to be nice. I was saying before you lot came on, I have two channels, and the other channel's about the football and running. And somebody came on and said, I've been flying for over 12 hours and I've just landed. If anybody wants to know about the Quran and Muslims, and I thought, whoa, hang on. This is a religious neutral channel, because spiritualism sits squarely in the middle of all religions. I don't promote any one religion. So I blocked him, and that worked actually on that one. I blocked him. There's no way I want you on it, because promoting one religion is not what I do. I promote anything that is to do with spiritualism. So I don't mind you liking and subscribing, as long as you haven't got evil energies, and you're not going to use it to promote your own methods and religions. Yeah, timing them out. It's only temps. That's so I didn't use that one. I think, what was it? The one I used first. If I click your name, whoops, no, not that one. If I click your name, the one that came first I tried was remove. But removing them, just she obviously came back, it logged back in. So that doesn't help. So I've tried hide user on this channel the next time, and then closed the live down on Monday, and that's why it got closed down, because I just couldn't find a way that was obviously getting rid of her. So it's, yeah, I do apologize. That was Monday was supposed to be a lot longer than that, but her energy is so evil. It's like I just couldn't get through it. But I'm just reading Fireflies because I'm a bit puzzled about your Miss W. Hang on. Oh, ouch, legs. Oh. I don't want the old ones. I don't want the old ones. I wasn't going to do this, Firefly. Oh, I wasn't actually going to do this, Firefly. But for you, seeing as it's you, you want me to do a reading about Miss W, or do you want me to edge it towards? So I'll give you a choice: Miss W or Scorpio. So you need to be from last week. You need to be pushing the idea of you're a spiritualist because actually. Go on, Techie. It wasn't supposed to be. I wasn't supposed to be doing this. I just realised that Firefly is in a sticky situation. But yeah, you can do. But yeah, it was more the cards. Really, Firefly was saying that that you need to push the fact that you're a spiritualist, and that is what gets you together. This Miss W, from where I can see, is that all you're going to do. She can be as sexual as she wants, but at the end of the day, this guy is going to react better to spiritualism than he is to sexual advances. Oh, you missed the fun on Monday, Fearless. You left at the wrong bloody time. Just you to leave at that point. You should have stayed on for another 5 minutes and helped me get rid of somebody. I had to close it down Monday straight after you left because a certain user came online and I couldn't block her. She wouldn't disappear. Hopefully, I blocked her from the site. I hidden her from the site, but I think she can still get in, just not comment. So we are going for Fireflies, Scorpio. We have stopped. Play with me nose, God's sake. Stop it. I'm going to get annoyed in a minute, Barry. You might find it funny. I don't. I'm talking specifically Firefly with Scorpio as well. Oh, interesting. So you are going to be able to cut through this. There is a way of cutting through it, and I bet you it's what I've just said. It's what I've just said. There's a way of cutting through this and cutting through it really, really easy, Firefly, and it's the spiritual card. I wouldn't be surprised if I got a spiritual card at the universe card out of here. I wouldn't be surprised. If I get the universe card first, I'm going to be jumping up and down. Just tell him what you want. Yeah, be blatantly obvious about what the fact that you're a spiritualist. That's odd. I got a futility card. So anything quite futile. Is this futile? Again, we've got the work. Something's not quite working out. Yeah, be more direct, but so like this is what I am. I am a spiritualist. This, you know, forget the love and the sexual advances. That's odd. So I got wealth, which is rather a strange card to be having. We got work, wealth, doing well, but it's a bit futile. There's something there's some sort of futility about all of this. Change is coming around. So the change, the yin and the yang, is sort of starting to the good and the bad, starting to show itself. But what's being offered is even worse than empty cups. You've not just got empty cups, empty love cups. It's actually empty. It's almost like, yeah, it's like the futility. I'm trying. So this guy Scorpio is trying things, or whatever he's trying is just futile. It's not working. He's got dried up love cups. It's just not. He's not getting what he. Why am I getting? That's the second works card. The power and the works. Everything's about work. Everything's about work. He's interested in work, but things are changing, and is he wanting things to work out, but that it just seems to be futile at the minute. It just doesn't seem to be working. And it's almost like he can't balance this thing out. We've got work on one hand, and we've got the love working, and the changes on that side of it at work, because we've got the second work card in there, just don't seem to be. You've got the dried up cups basically. It just doesn't seem to be coming across. It's almost cruel. This is almost a cruel intervention, and it's just not. It's not right. This is no, because what he's looking for is this Ace of Cups, the love starting again. Something will start. Yeah, something's going to start. I said we're about a month away. According to that, we're about a month away. What month are we on now? October. Yeah, we're about a month and a half away. But something's going to start in about a month and a half's time. It's not too far away, but changes are afoot. And at the minute, there's almost like a futility to this. It's things are moving, but it doesn't seem to be overly enamored by the way it's moving. It's almost like this is futile. It's totally rubbish. Yeah, you need to be more forward about who you are and what you are. And what Barry's telling me is, yeah, this is Scorpio in total. His situation at the minute is things are about to change for him. And at the minute, it's almost there's a futility about this, and he's wanting things to work, but they just aren't. As if he actually wants it to work with Miss W, but So he has had his head turned, but he's just finding it really futile and almost cruel. It's just not right. Um, so I think what you need to do is what Barry's been saying is just it's the spiritual thing that's going to be the way to go forward. And we need to get across to him what you are. The fact that his head has been turned, absolutely. But what I'm getting is it's just not. Yeah, this is his energy in total. Which direction it is only brought about by me by the fact that you've told me what's happening. Um, and it has to be in relation to this Miss W. But that's cold reading, which is not what I like doing because I know too much. But it has been turned, but it's almost like we've got a futility card in there saying this is totally not working, and what I'm wanting from this isn't what I'm getting. So he had an idea when he went that direction what he was going to try to get. No, the Ace of Cups was after. The Ace of Cups was later on. The Ace of Cups is in about a month's time, and it's after the change card. So you got the change. Everything suddenly changes, and there's the Ace of Swords. So it'll say with you, it's upwards in this one, saying that there's going to be a sudden opening of the clouds and clearing of the whole thing. Just clear. His mind clears up, and it suddenly becomes obvious to what's happening. But I think that's the point where you need to step in and say, his mind clears and he realizes what's happening because you're going to tell him, or at least get him to realize you're a spiritualist. You believe in spirits. You believe in good and bad energies and yin and yang and yeah, somehow he's gone in there with his eyes open with the sounds of it. He's gone in there thinking, I know what I'm wanting from this. But also he's sort of like stepped back, which is why the cruelty card came in and why those empty cups half upside down came in. It's just not got anywhere where he wanted it to go because he had an idea where he wanted that to progress. And by the sounds of it, it didn't progress in the direction he thought it would do or hoped it would do. So, yeah, an interesting one. Things are moving. A nice Prince of Discs. But they're moving physically. I wonder if anybody's moving out or moving away. It wouldn't move away, would he? Would he move jobs somewhere else? Very interesting, that one. But yeah, you need to put your card down now, your spiritualist card down, bang, and play it. It's time for you to play your card. You have a special card, play it. I think you'll be more interested in you knowing that you're a spiritualist. I'm just being told that it would be more likely to look at you if he knew you as a spiritualist, then you've got that connection. And I've just got his head's been turned, but you have the connection, you have that spiritual connection with him, whereas the other person doesn't. And when he comes back, show him the card. Bang! I'm a spiritualist. Yeah, he did go in that direction. It's that futility card suggests that he wanted something from it, but he wasn't. But then you got the upside down drained cups, which is say, not only did I not get it, I really didn't get what I wanted from this, and it doesn't look like I'm going to get what I want from it. So, bit of a battle, but um, if he's stupid enough to realize that he's not getting what he wants, and then all of a sudden he sticks to it, then I doubt that he's the right person anyway. But yeah, play the spiritualist card. Yeah, you'd be better off that way, I must admit. Play the card and see where he does. Play the card, see where he does that. That's what I'd do. Because Barry's saying play the card. I trust Barry and play the card. Play the card, sit back and see if he chases you. Because I wouldn't put it past him. I really wouldn't. Because he's not getting what he wanted. And I've just got a feeling that he could be that change card could be you. I'm sort of half banking on that change card being Firefly. Techie. Yeah, I wonder what he wanted because he didn't get it, whatever it was. Something to do with work. Do you want to ask a question, Techie? Yeah, and what can stay with these cards then in that case, Techie? Oh, Barry, come on, stop it. I don't find it funny. Have a biscuit. Look, I've got the charm there. If you want to move that, Barry, right, just move it. If it goes bing behind my head, in fact, how about this, Barry? Now, that is a bell, right? I'll put that down there. Now, Barry, if you want to ring that, Techie, Firefly, and Fearless will drop their cookies immediately and scream. So if you want to press that or move that, then yeah. But in the meantime, we're looking at AB's energies. What's he trying to do next? Blimey. Of course, we're getting close to the time where I think AB was supposed to be making a move. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, don't. You see, Barry, if you want to push in my back, pushing my back, how about pushing the bell instead? Get a hand on my back is not really what I want to be feeling at the minute. Oh. Go press the bell. Put a bloody hand on my back. Cruelty. Stop putting a cruelty card. Go away. Come on, Barry, be sensible. We're talking about AB now. If he is, he can give up. I'd rather have a nice, sexy young lady doing it rather than Barry. But typical, innit? I can't get a sexy young lady massaging me, but I can get a dead old man. Less of the dead and less of the old. Okay. Okay, here we go. Are you sure? Yes, I am sure, Barry. Come on. AB, techie. AB, techie. Yeah? Why are you singing French songs? La di da sa, sur la pont d'Avignon. La di da sa, sur la pont. He's going French now. He's going in French. Why is he going into French? Adjustment. Is he adjusting to the idea? He's sort of coming around. Boom. Yeah. He's sort of coming around to this. He's adjusting. He's thinking. There's certain. Yeah. I need to change things. I need to adjust things. No, I don't need to change things. I need to adjust them. There's not an awful lot I need to change, but I need to check. I need to. What do you mean by that? There are certain adjustments in my lifestyle I need to make. So AB needs to just make a few changes. And that's what he's thinking at the minute. I need to just adjust what I'm thinking. And a few lifestyle changes. I just need to move. I'm wanting things to move. I'm wanting things to. I'm wanting things to move. Stop scratching their nose. But I'm not too keen on them moving fast. I don't really want to be too. I don't want them to move slow, but I don't want them to move fast either. I'd rather that would be fast. I want it to move quick. I'm wanting things to move like red hot, like lightning. Bang, gone. La da da, la da da. And he's wanted. Well, I said specifically with you. So he's trying to change things in his around it. He's trying to adjust. He's trying to adjust things to get things ready. He's trying to sort things out in his life, sort things out in his head. But then he's changed his mind. This is complete change because he wasn't thinking this before. This wasn't the card I would have got out. I would have got the Prince of Cups out, which is a blue horse, saying a little bit slower, not quite as fast, not quite as wanting things to move. Well, he is wanting things to move, not quite as fast, but certainly more faster than what we were talking at the beginning of the year. So now things seem to be almost being pushed along a little bit faster than what they were. And we've also got an understanding of this is a strife card. So it's all like he's saying, well, he's understanding that this isn't just your normal. This isn't just your normal upsetting people. They're showing me a picture of a person on a doorstep standing there. It's why a picture of a person standing on a doorstep, Barry? He's wanting things to change. He's got an attitude now that he wants things to change. So is something bothering him then? Because I've got a strive card as if things aren't, that something's not right, and he's wanting things to change quickly. Not too quickly, but he's wanting it. And it's I've got the strive card upside down, which is sort of like, oh, this isn't going right. I need to change things. I've got to change things. This is Barry putting these down because this is 3 cards, not past, present, and future. So it's not. This isn't your guide, Techie. This is Barry. So there's a certain amount of adjustment coming along, and this is brought about by AB. AB is actually thinking, I need of AB A I don't know, A anyway. Needs to change things, and he's got an understanding. I need to adjust things, possibly quite major adjustments, because things aren't going too well. Something's not going how he wanted it to do. It's strife. It's things just, something's bothering him. Something's quite awkward. This is not what I wanted. And he wants the adjustments and the change. He's got to adjust to it. It's almost like a new job. And when you get a new job and you think, oh, I'm going to have to change the way I work, and I'm going to have to change the way I live. And is it really? It's that sort of thing where you change jobs and you think, I've got to change everything that I'm used to, and that's where I'm seeing a situation where I've got to change something because it's completely different from what I'm used to. And the changes are going to come quick, not too quick because it's upside down. But I've got a feeling that he's wanting them to get them out the way, done, moved on, and let's get this sorted. So something that needs sorting, and I think we said something needed to be done months ago, but now it's got to the point where he has to make a decision. He has to go and do something, and he needs to clear this other bit that we've been saying for bloody ages. AB's got to go and do this. He now has to go and do it. It's a major thing in his life that he's got to change, and he's got to make the adjustments because he's being forced to do it. And we got the happiness card. So we do see happiness coming his way, and he probably sees he'd like a little bit more happiness in his life. Yeah. And he wants it to be a start. He wants it. This is the Ace of Wands. So this happiness, he wants new happiness. He wants something to start afresh. He wants something to flourish now. He wants it immediately and to start, and his happiness cups to be overflowing. So he's actually he once he's got this. Once he got this bloody adjustment to make, he's got to get this adjustment done. So he's still not quite there, Techie, but he will be. I mean, how long are we talking? Days? A week? 2 weeks? We're not talking a great deal of time here. We're talking quite short. And then what he's going to better draw the third card, and the third card is the Chariot. So he wants things to move, and he does want things to move quickly. He wants to find somebody new. He's wanting to find, because I've not tried to pull you into this one. I wanted to see what AB's thoughts were rather than what AB's thoughts were to you. And his thoughts are, I'm trying to get something moving quickly. He wants something brand new. He wants it. He wants it to move, go moving quickly. That's the Chariot card. And what is it he's wanting to move with? Well, there's your happiness, your love cards, your love cups overflowing. So he is looking, or he will be, very, very shortly, starting to think, yeah, I've sorted that out. I've adjusted, done all the adjustments. Now I can try something new. So let's just do a quick one about what you just said there, which is your connection with him. So I've got his thoughts. We've done AB's thoughts. Well, let's do AB's connection with you. La 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 la. Circus. That's a circus music. Who's sing bloody circus music for? La, 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 I don't know. What is it? Yeah, that's that tune from Monty Python, isn't it? That's Monty Python's tune. Da, 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 da. Can't even sing it. It's Monty Python's tune where he's singing. Is that how you see this, Barry? Like a Monty Python play? Insanely stupid and totally off the cuff. It's like, this is just, yeah, this is ridiculous. Monty Python sketches were all stupid and totally absurd. We're singing Monty Python, so this is totally stupid. It's a ridiculous thought. Is it? Or is it? So Barry's giving you the Monty Python tune. We keep getting that idea that it's completely absurd. It's sort of like say, yeah, it's that idea of it. This is absurd. It's a stupid idea, but hey, it seems to be what he's wanting. There's a strong connection. I've got strength. There's a strong connection because I'm asking for the connection between you two, yeah? So I've got a strong connection between you two. Whoa, blimey. Oh, Christ, Barry, you're going to go a bit close there. Whew. It's like I'm waiting for you to bang, either ring the bell or step away, and then you can do either if you want. So he likes that card. That card is for you. He says, that card's for you. What do you mean, cheers me duck? You're going northern. Cheers me duck, that's for you. So that is giving you the strength card because there's a very strong connection between the two of you. And we've got a motherly card. So there's definitely a motherly connection. I wonder if that's the opposite way round. Sort of like if it was a woman, an older woman to a younger lad, you'd be saying it's sort of like a motherly connection between the two. But I've almost got this sort of, yeah, what do you call it? Sugar daddy. I've got this sort of like motherly connection in reverse. I don't think we've got a fatherly connection. But there's a sort of really strong connection, and it's sort of, yeah, there's a definite sort of, almost like he wants to mother you. He wants to be the one to put his arms around you and just keep you safe. And that's what I'm getting. I'm getting the sort of the you're talking about the cloak behind. So he's talking about the cloak behind. This is actually a fur coat, and it's almost like he's wrapping it round you. Basically, he's wrapping that white coat around you, sort of keeping you warm. And then you got a Prince of Swords, which is an interesting one because this is somebody who wants things to move quick, and this is totally different from what it started off as. That when he realizes that he's done all these adjustments and you're there, and actually you are interested in him, you, he actually now, it's almost like his thoughts is going to be thinking that this has lots of little, lots of lines on it, lots of symmetrical shapes. It's basically circles with diamonds and triangles in it, and that signifies methodical thinking. So this guy doesn't just think. He says, Barry said, no, that's not his job. That's not how his mind works. He says, he's just said mind works. That's not how this guy's mind works. This guy thinks things out, plans them meticulously, which is why you've got little circles, little triangles in the middle, perfectly matched. We've got people pulling it below. They don't quite think the same. Some of their triangles are slightly outside the circle. It's almost like he's controlling these people or pulling his chariot. And he's thinking how he wants to move forward with this. And he's thinking, but he's going to be really meticulous about how he does it. He's not going to jump into this without really thinking this one through. But he will want to, and he wants it to move forward, and he wants it to move forward quite quickly. So basically, he keeps giving me this card saying, Barry is saying, that's the card, that's the connection between you and him. So he wants me to do it like that. So that staff across the middle is you on one side, him on the other, and he says, look at the symbols. He says, look at this. I've made you do it like that for a reason. He says, look, you've got the dark and the light on, dark on one side, light on the other. You're a little bit yin and yang. You're a little bit different. In fact, you're an awful lot different. But that's what Barry likes about you too. He says, shouldn't work. You're completely yin and yang. He's on the, I don't know which way around it is. One of you is on the sun side, one of you is on the moon side, and you're completely opposite. But yeah, hey, I'm giving you the strength, the 9 of Wands, because that wand in the middle shows the connection between the two of you. Indolence the other way around. So he's tired of giving just for the sake of giving and not actually getting anything in return. He's just like tired of just giving it out and not getting anything back. Yeah, he wants to put his arms around. He wants to put that. That woman has a coat. If you can see it, it's a long coat, and it goes all the way down at the bottom here, and it goes all the way up there, around the shoulders. And Barry said he wants to put that around you and just hug you and keep you warm and keep you nurtured. And I think part of this Prince of Swords is the sword. He wants to use the sword. He wants to defend you. And I think part of his thoughts is, I'm going to have to defend this girl because she's going to need a hell of a lot of defending if she goes out with me. And he probably knows it's probably going to be right. Again, spirits. We've got spiritual. I don't know whether you've got a spiritualism connection. And I keep coming up with this one, and I've got this, almost defending you with the sword as he's driving the chariot. But I've got spirits around, and I don't know whether I've got spirits for both of you. I've almost like got, I don't know whether he's a spiritualist as well, but it's just weird. I've got spirits around, everything coming, like the yin and the yang all coming back together again, and everything sort of being so perfectly at one with nature. Of it's almost like you're a perfect fit, spiritual wise. Has he got virtue? Oh, you've got the virtue card as well. I mean, you've got a virtuous bloke as well. I mean, how the hell do you get one? Well, not many of us, not many virtuous men around. But yeah, he's a very honourable person, and he thinks things through, and he's very, very smart, and he's able to control with that chariot. He's able to control. He's able to control their minds as well. He's very good at making people think. I'm trying to think of each card here, and Barry's sort of pointing to the chariot one where they've got three people in front, not quite thinking right. That their triangles are slightly outside of the circle, and he's able to control what they think, and he's able to put forward the fact that this is why our mine and Techie's thoughts connections so strong, and he's able to put the ideas out, and people almost control the way people think. Is he control? No, he's not controlling. He's able to control thoughts of other people, almost without even trying. And is no, not like a dictatorship. Then no, he's more of a. How are you describing him, Barry? I did have a word. I've lost it. But yeah, it was more like a sort of an ability to. It's like these people who stand at the front and do these talks in public. He'd be quite good at that, because he'd be able to stand up there in front of a group of people who he's never met before and talk about probably any subject he could choose, or even not, Barry says, and he'd still be able to put his point forward to even the most radical person who's not going to believe him in a million years, and he'd just managed to get him to think twice about whether he believes him. He'd still be able to turn most of those people's heads and think, actually, I believe this guy. And part of that is how he's going to be thinking about you. He's sort of like wanting this. He's definitely wanting something to change, and it's definitely love-wise. And the connection between you, Barry put that strength card in, and he was insistent that the main card here is the strength card. And when he said turn it sideways, look at the two different ends of that stave, and at the one end is the moon and one end is the sun, and that's Techie and AB. One is completely sunshine and everything's always happy and fine and sunny, and at the other end you've got somebody who doesn't always believe everything is brilliantly and all sunshine and happiness, but the two of you get on so there's such a strong energy between you two. I can't believe it. But yeah, again, I think you need the time for sort of making yourself known is probably now. I've just got a feeling that we're probably at that critical point where this guy is now starting to think, I need to make adjustments. Not to do with you, I don't think, but the adjustments are key to setting him forward in thinking that next step, the next three cards which say, I need to change, I need something new, I need that ace of wands, bang, fire, movement, things changing, thinking about things, the love card there, the happiness card, the cups overflowing. That's what he's looking for, and I think that's why you have to play your cards pretty much in the quite soon, if not almost. I'm getting the word imminent. It's imminent now. You really do need to play your cards. And Barry's saying imminent, which usually means he says, "Go for it, girl." That's Barry, not me. That's so American. Stop it. But yeah, he's Barry. Why do you make me tap like that? You always make me. He emphasizes things by making me tap the pen, and I don't tap in the pen. He's emphasizing it. He said, "Look, I said it. Do it." So, Techie, good cards. Go for it. And yeah, I think that the similar is really for Firefly. You need to play that card next time you see him. Play the spiritualist card, and if he's going to go for someone who's blatantly not, it doesn't appear to be his type and not getting what he wants, then perhaps he's not the right person. But play the spiritualist card, and there's a good chance he's going to be seeing that connection between the two of you. So. Barry says, "I wouldn't miss it for the world." You don't even know, well, I suppose you do know where she lives. I don't. Charles. You know somebody called Charles or Charlie? Techie. But I said you don't know where he lives, where Techie lives, and Barry says something about Charles or Charlie. Yeah. So I'll leave you with Charlie. Apparently Barry knows Charlie. So yeah, enjoy yourselves. I'm sure Techie's been sat laughing in the background, listening to everything. Yeah, I don't know. He's been over there with Charlie or Charles or something. Anyway, somebody's been showing him around. So he's been over there. He's been watching you, apparently. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm getting I'm having to take people off who've got bad energies, and I'm not getting good energies or good vibes from you. So yeah, you're. I only want people in this chat that have good energies, and at the minute, sorry, I just don't get that vibe from you. Oh, so that is the point that I was making earlier. I cannot have people with really bad energies bouncing off this live stream. I mean, all of a sudden, my heart just went sinking through the floor. So it was a good job I was closing it. So everybody have a nice evening, and I may see you again. Oh God, I feel so drained again. It's not. See, this is what happens with me when it just get hit by bad energy, and I'm just all of a sudden I'm drained. So I'm sorry about that. I'm going to have to call it a day. I was going to do anyway. We've been on an hour and a half, and I shall see you on next week. And Yeah, sorry about that. I just totally took a dive. My energies have just been drained through the floor. Darn it. Bye, Techie. Bye, Fearless, if you're on.